So, the Cliff House is the lowest rated hotel in Brisbane, I think. It's 2.6 stars and it's claiming to be a 3-star hotel. There's a lot of negative reviews, a lot of them including stuff about found needles, the place stinking of cigarettes and urine, and bugs. Bugs seems to be a pretty common recurring theme in these reviews. I have been there twice, and I have clips that I'd like to show. The first experience wasn't too bad. I shared the place with a mate. It was about $100 for one night, and where you're located in Kangaroo Point, it seems like that's probably your best value for money. The sign out the front as we were walking in was vandalized. I kind of realized I said sign out front, but I think we were kind of entering through the back. There were 2 entrances, but the way we went was to the reception, so maybe it is to the front. The place is a bit jank, so I don't actually know. The room was small. We got a queen, I believe. There was just a bed, a bath, a kettle. There's no microwave, no stovetop, no bare necessities. You get a water kettle and you get a hairdryer. That's pretty much it. There was a cigarette burn hole in the blanket of the first place that we stayed, which I thought was interesting. The place in general looked pretty rough and beat up. If you had told me that DVs had taken place here, I would believe you. I did end up finding mold under the sink, which kind of stank, but only because I opened the doors. It didn't stink like mold when I walked in, and it wasn't until I opened the drawers under the sink that it began to stink. But yeah, lacked any useful appliances. I guess it doesn't matter that it lacks appliances, because the only reason you would stay at a place so cheap is because you're having a big night and you're going to be spending your money elsewhere. So you're not taking anything back with you. And a lot of people that stay here do only stay one night. And that's kind of the purpose of this place. It's not a long-term stay. A long-term stay, even a 3-night stay, you wouldn't want to be spending it here, because for the average person, this place seems really eerie and sketchy. Got a bat behind the fucking reception. Oh my god. It's a knife. It's not the worst. It is really, really fucking bad though. The problem with the location, even though I said it's value for money in Kangaroo Point, is to get to anywhere exciting or anywhere that has something for you to do, it's a 30+ minute walk. I walk a lot. I walk everywhere. Personally, I don't mind. The first time we went, we were basically just walking into Brisbane City. We weren't too far away from the Kangaroo Bridge, which sucks to walk, but there's a bunch of lime scooters. And when we went there the first time, we just got lime scooters to and from Brisbane City to our place. That was a bit costly. But again, you're saving money by getting a cheap, shitty hotel. So at the end, what does it really matter? We were basically just going casino, pubs, all the fun stuff. And it wasn't bad. Never ride a lime scooter drunk. It's very dangerous. I did read recently that there were 2 girls riding a lime scooter drunk who hit an elderly man and killed him. But that's a bit off topic. The first time we went as well, as we entered the reception, we signed a lot of documents there. The person at the front took my friend Declan's ID, and then he took my ID, and then he took both of our signatures. Everything seemed kind of okay. This didn't seem very irregular, but then he mentioned that there was some type of monthly police checkup that this place had. That made me feel a little concerned, but no actual hotel ever has a monthly checkup unless something's going wrong, which is why I said if you were to tell me that this place was a victim of DV crimes, I would believe you. We also noticed behind the reception in the little area that he had that he not only had a baseball bat, but he had what looked to be a knife, but clearly it was for protection of himself and maybe protection for other staff, because he wasn't there when we checked out the next morning. So overall, the first experience wasn't the worst, wasn't the greatest. There was no needles found, there was no bugs, the place didn't smell like urine and cigarettes, the place smelt like cleaning chemicals, which meant they were actually trying, but didn't give enough of a shit to cover up the strong bleach smell. And obviously, the place looking rough and beat up, there's not much they're really going to do about it. This place is so low maintenance for them that it doesn't seem like anybody is taking care to anything except making the bed. I wouldn't know if there was somewhere I could wash my clothes or wash the towels that I use, because it wasn't stated as we entered. There was not like other hotels where they give you a little form saying, hey, go down the hall, there's a chute for your rubbish, there's a place with a washer and a dryer. This place didn't specify anything whatsoever. which is why I strongly believe that it's intended for a one-night stay. If you're dumb enough to be coming here to stay more than one night, that's on you. To look at the Google reviews and to understand that you're paying $100, you should have the common sense that it's gonna be a shithole. The second time around, when I was talking to Declan about booking the place, he mentioned that for an extra $9 we could upgrade to a king size, and I thought, why not? I don't really want to get the same room again, even though it wasn't anything inherently bad with it. So we got the king size. The room itself was bigger. The bathroom attachment was bigger. Everything was bigger. There was actually a closet that you could put your clothes in this time. The first place didn't have that. The unfortunate thing about this bathroom is the door was very stiff, very hard to open. It's stuck, and if you were stuck in there, you either had to yank it towards you really hard, or if you were trying to get in because you're busting, you had to shoulder barge that shit. It's not good in case of fire emergencies. What if there's an emergency? Am I trapped on the shitter? Obviously, you're going to be much safer outside of this place than inside. When you come here, you don't really have the expectation of spending all your time actually chilling at this hotel because you're going out to do other shit. This second time around, I was going to a concert. I went to go see Julia Wolf. Going back to the Cliff Inn for a second time. And they have a nice lime green tuck chair this time. And the walk to the bright side was again about 45 minutes. Not too harsh, because I enjoy walking. The walk back was a bit treacherous. Julia Wolf was fucking nuts. So the investment of an extra $9 for a bigger room seems worth it. They have a closet, bigger toilet, more space. They've cleaned up the sign outside, and it seems very tidy compared to any other video I've ever seen of this place. I've never called it dirty, but I don't think that takes away from its absolutely horrible location. Yeah, right. It is a 30-minute walk plus to anything of value. All the terrain around the Cliff House is very up, down, hillish, and it's not enjoyable, but it is what it is. This time around, it seemed like the front sign had been fixed to a very amateur degree. Not a lot of talent taken to be fixing something like this. It doesn't really make it look less or more professional than the sign that was before. If anything, the sign prior had character. But for the extra $9, I would recommend. The room is significantly bigger. There were two paintings inside of the room that were supposed to be a continuation of one another, but they were not aligned. It was actually a closet for your clothes, although some of the coat hangers were actually attached to the metal rod, like not attached as in they were stuck in place, but they looped around and were not removable. This still lacked any reasonable appliances. You just got a jug and a hairdryer. It's bare necessities, and it's really unlikely you're going to use them, but because we had it, we decided to try their coffee. It wasn't actually the worst. The little milk tubs that they gave us weren't placed inside the mini fridge, they were just sat out there in the warmth. So my presumption it was some type of long life milk. If I have diarrhea from that off milk, then that's kind of my own fault. This time around, there didn't seem to be mold found anywhere. The bathroom stank the same stink that the other one had, but there was no visible mold. The last time I was here, I used the shower the morning after my stay before I left in the morning, and I only used their body wash. This time I was half asleep and I really wanted to hop in the shower because I had my hair in braids and I wanted to unbraid it and wash it because I had gel in my hair. So I used their shithouse shampoo, and if something negative happens to my hair, I'll make sure to make a follow-up. But there was no conditioner, just a weenie bottle of shampoo with the weenie bottle of body wash. The other problem that I had this time around that I didn't have last time around was when I went to shower, I was very half asleep, and a bug crawled out from the inside. I tried to get a video of it. I'm not going to display the video, but I will display the audio, mostly because I hopped in the shower, turned on the tap, saw the bug, turned the tap off and grabbed my phone to record, and I was butt booty naked. Just as I thought everything was going smoothly, I went to have a shower and I saw a bug. I don't know where it's gone, but I'm freaked out. I just took a shower and I saw a bug crawl on the inside of the glass, like on the inside of the shower, as I turned the water on. Overall, I think this experience was a lot more eerie and creepy compared to the first experience. Not saying that they both weren't eerie and creepy, I just didn't like the fact that the door couldn't open and close and that I did actually spot a bug this time, but still, no sight of any needles. I didn't actually catch it on my camera, but we looked under the bed and above the closet. There were what seemed to be those bug catcher not bug catcher. It's kind of like one of those bombs that you put in a room, and it aerates the whole room, and pests choose to avoid the area because of it, because it makes them deathly sick. I'm trying to think of the word for it, but I can't. When I woke up, I thought, why is it so stiff in the middle of this bed? I thought this was a king bed. Turns out it was 2 small single mattresses stuffed on the one bed frame. It makes up for a big bed, but it does make for an uncomfortable sleep. These mattresses are dog shit, but that's to be expected with the price you're paying for this place. Do not expect comfort. The other odd thing was they have smart TVs. They had a smart TV at the last place and a smart TV at this place. But this place, the person who logged into Netflix last didn't log themselves out. So I'm sorry to whoever CJ is, but I watched Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked on your Netflix account. There was somebody else that was logged into YouTube. I don't remember the names of the account. I didn't actually use YouTube. We just watched Netflix. I do think if you're going to stay there, spend the extra $9 for the bigger space. It does feel a lot less claustrophobic than the first room, despite the fact that the doors might be fucked and there might be bugs. But in conclusion, do I think that the overall rating of 2.6 stars is justified? Honestly, yes and no. I believe it should be advertised as a 2-star hotel and not a 3-star, because it contains probably less than what I would consider the bare necessities for a long stay, because you're not going to have a long stay here. It's a short-term stay, and it should be addressed as such. There's absolutely nothing of value except for a place to lay your head and a place to shower. The location is absolute horseshit if you don't like walking. But the location is what it is, and that's kind of what you're paying for, on top of the fact that this place is a shithole. I personally walked everywhere I needed to go because I'm used to walking long distances, but when you're saving money on this place, why not spend the money on a Lime scooter or an Uber if you're going to drink? I think the price is what it is. I don't think there's any chance of the price dropping considering how much hotels in these areas cost, but I think you're going to get exactly what you pay for in this Kangaroo Point location. If you're planning on spending more than one night in this area, just spend the extra $100 or whatever it is to get a proper 3-star hotel, not this 3-star, technically 2-star hotel. I think it should be advertised as 2-star, and while my rating would be low, I wouldn't actually rate this place lower than 2 stars. But a lot of these reviews are half a star or 1 star because people found bugs and needles and whatever. I think if you were to come into this with any expectation other than this place is going to be dog shit, then you're just simply lying to yourself. As I said prior, I would recommend the king size room over the small room, but I actually wouldn't recommend this place at all. I don't come from a very blessed from wealth area, so somewhere like this is pretty perfect. If I had to give an overall review, I'd probably give it 2.3 stars. There's nothing really outstanding or absolutely miserable. This place just is what it is, and I think you actually can't beat the price in this area. So this is my short review of it. If there's anything that happens to me here in the future, I will probably make a follow-up video. Thank you for listening. Don't expect this type of content very often, but if I don't post another video ever again in my life, that's because I died at the Cliff House.